What's up, everyone? Dr. Mike Merkt here of the Specific Chiropractic Centers Lake Country, and I had kind of an interesting realization the other day. So I'll oftentimes have people come in for the initial testing. We'll go over all that, and then that also includes a second visit where we go over all the test results. We'll go over the x-rays, the nervous system scans, the health history, kind of all of that. And one of the ways I always start with a question. And what that question is, well, first off, it's a really loaded question. It's a question most people haven't been asked by their health professionals before. So oftentimes people get kind of nervous when I tell them that we're going to start with a question. But what the question is what do you want as far as your health is concerned if you could have anything? And oftentimes people will kind of hem and haw and say, oh, I want like this gone, or I want my child to stop behaving this way. I want my child to stop being so angry or stop having these outbursts, or be able to not be so fussy when we're talking about clothing, not be so impulsive, all of that stuff. And what's interesting is when we talk about that, so they'll say all these things, and I dig a little bit deeper. I'll ask them, like, okay, what does that look like? What does that life look like if we're able to get to that point? And that's when suddenly the real answers start coming out. It'll start being like, well, the entire family will be less stressed out, or it'll be easier going somewhere and getting everyone ready and going somewhere, or we won't have to worry about the holidays as much, or we won't have to worry about a change in the schedule as much, or so-and-so's sibling will get a little bit more attention. My husband and I won't be arguing so much because of the stuff we're having. So it got me thinking, and it made me realize that I'm not necessarily in the chiropractic business, but oftentimes I'm actually in the family repair business. And I know that sounds really weird, but what we do here at the Specific Chiropractic Centers is by helping these kids and helping these people get back to true health and how they're supposed to be. Suddenly the family dynamic changes, and people are able to start enjoying who they are and who they're spending their time with, and things aren't as stressful in the house. You're able to leave on time. Going to holiday events or seasonal changes or switching up in schedules isn't as crazy. And one I hear all the time is people regain control of their household again. And that is a huge, huge deal. There's a lot of people that come in here and they'll kind of say that they've lost complete control of their household because of their child, either with anger stuff or ADD, ADHD, anxiety, kind of all this stuff. And it's a huge, huge relief, and I think a benefit for them that they're able to have control of all this stuff again, not in a really over-controlling way, but in a way to where they feel like they're not being controlled by their child. On top of all of this, this can also have a huge impact on other people's families as well, as is the case when someone is really stressed out in school, and that starts to kind of leak out in the classroom, and the teacher's affected, and that can affect other kids in the class and all of that. So it's something that I think is really amazing. It's something that I'll kind of tell people when I see in the community when they kind of ask what I do, and I'll explain that this is a lot more than just symptom relief, but rather it's getting people to live the lives that they're supposed to live and allow their families to be how they're supposed to be, in a really, I guess, how the families are supposed to be in a really like loving way and all of that, if that makes sense. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Feel free to share it. Shoot me a message if this is something that you want to talk about a little bit more, or if you think you could potentially benefit from this, or your child could benefit from it, or someone you know could benefit from it. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next week.